now that's real.
I think that the low for me kind of starting out was like feeling a little bit discouraged. Like I was a really good student and I felt like I really discerned well. And I was kind of comfortable and confident because I knew I was familiar. And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, like there's still so much more to learn. And I just really didn't know how to really be a parish priest right off the bat. And I kind of wanted to, but it kind of was something that grew over time. Like you start building relationships and actually then starting to enter into people's lives, like into total strangers' lives wasn't awkward. It was actually, it was very neat. It was very encouraging because it's like, all right, I am the priest and I am a priest and they want to see a priest. And that you actually, like, there's a deep bond that exists because of that. And just kind of getting over that initial kind of hardship.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize like how much priests do in the week. I think a lot of people think that they celebrate Mass on Sunday and then like for the whole week it's vacation.
Right.
But it's totally not that.
No.
You know, being involved around here, I get to see what Father Fitzpatrick does on a daily basis, you know, and it's a lot of work for one guy. And it seems like when you did like the high and by with the pastor there, you were the guy everyone turned to.
It was
right?
it, yeah.
So like that must have been so challenging, particularly like when you get that sick call in the night. I don't think a lot of people realize that you guys have to go. It's like a 24-hour job, really, right?
That's been something that's been challenging. Just being young too is kind of like a lot of my friends and stuff like are not priests, and even friends who are priests, like you don't necessarily have the same day off, and so it's like I'm like, thank God priests don't have families because
oh my gosh, can you imagine?
oh my gosh, like I was like it's nights, it's weekends, it's holidays, it's learning how to show up late to every family gathering, like or just not kind of getting to go at all, and then all the people who want to hang out with you or you had friendships with, like I'm like, guys, I'm like available like Monday during the day. They're like,
that's when I'm working.
We have jobs, you know? And I was like, oh yeah, right. Right. So
it must be tough mentally because you might feel like you're like ghosting your friends, you know? Or, you know, maybe they need you, but your vocation, your direction, what God's calling you to do is elsewhere, maybe in a hospital at that moment, you know? That must be tough. How do you deal with that? Is it through prayer? Is it, you know, I'm sure you have your friend group that you try to like stay in touch with, but that must be so tough.
Yeah. I say a couple things come to my mind. Prayer is the most essential thing. And as a parish priest, we make a promise to pray what's called the breviary or the liturgy of the hours, and we pray that a lot, like five times a day. Just kind of like this routine of like you're praying constantly. But because you make that promise, sometimes it can also feel like an obligation, and so it's like, I guess for me, learning to love the breviary and like be like, all right, Lord, like I'm taking this time to have you speak to me. But then also like keeping your own devotions that I really love. Like for me, it's like sitting in front of the Eucharist. It's the daily gospel, doing Lectio and kind of just reading through it, like using some imagination to do some imaginative prayer and like exercising my creativity and literally placing myself into the scriptures. But then it's also community, right? Like it's I'd say probably one of the most helpful things was like having the mentors who were like priest mentors for me before becoming a priest, being able to still rely on them. So like my formator at the seminary was just so helpful. And Father Fitz, home pastor, and then a couple kind of guys who were a little bit further along in the priesthood who I'd gotten to know during my time in seminary, but have been a priest maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years. So they're like, yeah, no, it's like, it is hard starting out, but it's awesome. It's worth it. And you'll get to see it. And I've definitely gotten to see it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.